Hello and welcome. My name is Gavin Kenny, and for this multimedia presentation we will be looking at the subject of agricultural science and the topic of beef breeds in Ireland. Before we begin, let's play a little game. See how many of these cattle breeds you can name that are commonly found in Ireland today. So what will we learn about today? Today we will learn about two continental beef breeds that have been brought into Ireland. They are the Limousin and the Charolais. We will also be looking at one traditional beef breed, the Angus. We will look at their defining characteristics and what makes them appeal to each farm system, as well as where they are originally from and how they came to Ireland. So why do we study this material? What's the rationale behind teaching this topic? It's quite straightforward. Before we get into detail, have a look at this question that will help explain it. Like most of you, I answered no. I wouldn't run a marathon in a pair of high heels. I would choose a pair of specially designed runners that were comfortable and met my requirements to perform in a marathon. So this brings us back to why we study this material. As we outlined, you wouldn't run a marathon in a pair of high heels because it doesn't suit your needs. So why would a farmer choose the incorrect breed of cattle to suit his or her needs for their farming system? Knowing this material is crucial for a farming system to be ran efficiently. Choosing the correct breed can help or destroy a farming system. So where does a farmer begin? Throughout the rest of this presentation we'll be looking at which type of animal and which breed of beef cattle a farming system suits best. A farmer must first choose whether it's a traditional or continental beef breed that suits their system the best. To decide that, they must know the differences between each type. The continental beef breeds, such as Charolais, Simmental, Limousin and Belgian Blue, they've originated in Europe and have been brought to Ireland. They grow quite quickly, however they are late maturing. To mature they require supplemented feed. However, some breeds are weak, they're not as hardy as the traditional breeds. Now the traditional breeds. They are very hardy, they live outside all year round, they fatten on grass. They are fast maturing, however they don't grow as large as the continentals. These breeds are Hereford and Angus. This bar chart, like you would see in maths, shows the proportion of pedigree beef cows born in each breed in 2013. The three breeds that we will look at were the most popular in that year. We'll take some time to look at each breed individually, starting with the Limousin. The Limousin breed originated in the region of Limousin in the middle of France, an area which is rugged and rocky, which suits the hardiness of the Limousin breed. The Limousin breed arrived in Ireland in 1972 when 8 heifers were imported from France. In the next 2 years, 200 Limousin cows and bulls arrived in. These cattle provide the cornerstone of the most famous herds in Ireland today. Now we know a little bit about the Limousin breed, let's go to the farmyard and discover more. So here we are in the farmyard with this 12-month-old Limousin bull who will help us identify the main breed characteristics of the Limousins. The first characteristic is the Limousin's distinctive red coat. However, sometimes this can be black in crossbred cattle. The Limousin is a highly muscular breed, and because of this, the Limousin meat is extremely lean and healthy. If you can see, this Limousin has a large hind quarter, which shows the muscling capabilities of the breed. The Limousin breed has high muscle to bone ratios compared to the Charolais, and Limousin's legs aren't as large. We will see this later when we observe a Charolais bull. Limousins are extremely easy calving, and the dams are good milkers. For these reasons, the Limousins suit part-time farmers or dairy farmers. And if using the dairy sector, Limousins produce an outstanding crossbreed dam. So that's the Limousins. Now it's over to look at the Charolais. So now let's discover the Charolais breed, the geography of where they are from, the history of how they came to Ireland, and the defining characteristics of the breed. So where are they from? The Charolais breed originated in the east of France, in the Charolais area near Burgundy. As it can get quite cold in these areas, the Charolais breed have adapted to the environment and have become hardy and tough to suit their surroundings. Charolais were imported to Ireland in the 1960s and immediately grew in popularity thanks to their fast growth rate and size. However, they have declined in popularity in recent years due to the hard calving nature of the breed. Now let's take a stroll back to the farmyard to look at the defining characteristics of a real-life Charolais bull. So here we are back in the farmyard with this 18-month-old Charolais bull, who help us will identify the main characteristics of the breed. First of all, we see its distinctive white coat, which is renowned for in the Charolais breed. The next thing is the Angus conformation, which is strong legs and having a leg in each corner. The Charolais are also renowned for this. If we compare this animal to the Limousin we've seen earlier, he's a much larger animal. This is because the Charolais have a deep body and a large frame. This leads to them having a high growth rate. However, the Charolais are much harder calving than the Limousin or Angus, and they don't have the same milking qualities either. This leads to the Charolais being a high terminal sire. For these reasons, the Charolais suit a farming system that aims to produce cattle for the factory quickly. Now it's over to the traditional beef breed, the Angus. So now let's explore the Angus breed, their defining characteristics, where they originate from, and the history of the breed and how they came to Ireland. Angus. Where are they from? In the very early 19th century, black cattle called the Angus were born in the northeast of Scotland. They have a history dating back to 1808, and they were created from selective breeding of other breeds of cattle. How did they come to Ireland? Angus were brought to Ireland in 1960 in large numbers and grew in popularity because of how quickly they adapted to the Irish climate, and have continued to grow in popularity since then and are now present in large numbers today. So now that we know some background information on Angus breed, let's take a hop, skip and a jump into a field full of Angus cattle to explore the defining characteristics of the breed. So here we are in a field of Angus heifers, about 16 to 18 months old. Again we can see the breed's distinctive black coat. The Angus are polled cattle, which means they don't have horns like other breeds. They have a high quality marbled meat and are an extremely easy calving breed. They have a slow growth rate compared to Limousin or Charolais, however they easily fatten on grass like these ladies here. They suit the dairy farming system with their easy calving and easy fattening abilities of the breed. Now let's take a quick summary of the breeds we have learned about today. Looking at this table, it gives a brief summary between continental and traditional breeds, as well as the individual breeds that we've learnt about today, the Limousin, Charolais and Angus. The continental breeds are fast growth rate, they are late maturing and they require supplements to fatten. The traditional breeds have a slow growth rate, they are early maturing and they fatten on grass. The Limousins are easy calving, highly muscular and red in colour. The Charolais are hard calving, they are large bodies and white in colour. The Angus are also easy calving, they are polled and they are black in colour. So what did we learn about today? Today we learnt about 3 beef breeds, the Limousin, the Angus and the Charolais. We learnt which breeds were traditional and continental, and we also learnt how to differentiate between each type. We learnt how to identify the 3 breeds using their defining characteristics, we learned the history of how the breed came to Ireland, and we learned the geography where the breeds originated from. Before we go, let's take a second to recap on what we've learned by playing this little game. See how many of these breed characteristics you can link up with the correct breed. That's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention today and goodbye.